Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Dramatology podcast. In this episode, I am continuing on my review of Marry My Husband. This past 2 days saw the release of episodes 13 and 14. So yeah, let's talk about it. You know what? Just to begin, I have to say that when I decided to do week by week reviews of this drama, there was something at the back of my mind that told me that there was a reason why I did not do week to week reviews. And this drama has reminded me exactly why. Because it's too late to quit now. I have to finish doing the week to week reviews of this drama, and honestly I regret it so much because there are so many other dramas I could be covering, and I have to waste episodes covering this last few episodes of Marry My Husband. Because honestly, this drama does not deserve it, and it's a real shame that this drama has gone downhill in its final arc. If you've seen my last 2 episode reviews of this drama, you will know that at some point, maybe it was the first one I did or the second one I did, you will hear me say that there are no negatives about this drama, that I really like it, and even if there are negatives, I can't see it. That's what I said at some point. And honestly, now I see everything. That's how bad this drama has gotten. And so if you're here for me to do a nice sweet review about this drama, you're mistaken, because it's just insults from this point on. Because how do you fumble this kind of drama? I don't understand. I also mentioned I think last week or the week before that I was worried about the pacing of this drama. My worry has come to fruition because they've ruined this drama, and I don't know how you can do that with the recipe they had. You had such good stories to tell, and they just ruined it introducing this one character. That's how one character can change something in a drama. And this drama has taught me a lesson that I should really not do week to week review. And so I don't think I'm ever gonna do one again. I am scared because after Reborn Rich, I should have known not to do another one. But this drama was just so good in the first half that I felt like I had to. It was Park Min Young, it was rebirth trope, and I love those things. But now I think I have learnt my lesson. So yeah, let's just get right into it. What is wrong in this drama? Well, before we even start on that, I want to talk about what I think is the most memorable part of this last 2 episodes were. If you're perceptive, you probably already guess what I'm going to say, but it is Sumin's character when she is basically losing her mind in the hotel room after her dad and his mistress, basically Jiwon's mom, leave her and run away together, just trying to escape the fact that they tried to kill Jiwon and everything. And it's the way she breaks down and just has a kind of fit of she just breaks down and starts crying and everything. And that scene was just so memorable for me because Song Ha Yoon is we have to keep talking about her because she's the only one in this drama that I feel her acting is up to par. Well, her and Park Min Young, they're the only ones I'll say that they're actually quite interesting to watch. And so that scene where Park Min Young comes in and he sees her, right, and she's red in the face and she's crying, she's bawling, was just amazing to me. And I have to give her props. Song Ha Yoon can act. Wow, that was a very memorable scene. And then the other one is the scene where Kang Ji-won finally confronts her about why she is so mean to her, why she's always been like this, right? And again, I don't know, just something about the way her expressions change from when she's faking and telling her that I really did miscarry, blah, 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 and to the point where she actually drops that act. It's just fantastic to watch her, act this out. It's very, very good. And I would say that she out-acted Park Min Young in that scene. She's just so good at acting that, oh my God, I am watching only for at this point. Rarely do dramas have me more invested in the villains, especially female villains, because usually they're like Oyura's character, and so having someone like Song Ha Yoon is just a breath of fresh air, and she's just riveting. She keeps you watching. There's just something very appealing about her. And honestly, she's going to be 90% of what I talk about in this episode because she's about the most interesting thing that's left. Right, a psyche, a mental illness that spurs from this affair that her dad had with Kang Ji-won's mom is really interesting. And now that we know why, I like her even more, which is I would say 90% the way Song Ha Yoon is portraying this character, and 10% of how she's written. Because even though the writers are messing everything else up, they have a good idea and a good grasp of how to write her character, and so she's, very compelling and interesting to watch. But first, I want to talk about what is going on with the plot. So I said last week that if Oyura is still in this drama, by these 2 episodes that just aired, that I am going to lose my mind. And honestly, this drama, she's still here. She is still here, and she's gotten even worse. This drama has taken the turn into Mark Jang territory. Like, I don't know what they think this drama is supposed to be, but like, it's suddenly a very different drama. Somebody said on the comment section in, I think, my drama list, that this drama went from just a regular drama to like penthouse level Mark Jang. And honestly, I agree with that comment, because like, what the hell is going on, right? Like, Oyura wants people dead. She's like killing people. Like, what is happening? And like, the worst part of this, I think, for me, is the fact that our main characters are letting it happen. In fact, I would say that the character that pisses me off the most in this is Yujiok's character, because he is so passive. And I mentioned this, I think, last week as well, that he is so passive that it's so annoying. And he's so bland. Like, it's the blandest male lead I've ever seen. Like, shout out for like nerds and nerdy male leads and everything. They don't get enough credit. I understand, and I was happy to see his character because he was a nerd that fell in love and everything. But honestly, it was in that moment I was like, where is my mean, cold male lead that will, put the second female lead in her place? Because this character is just so annoying. Like, I have never seen a more passive character. Like, he came back all the way from the past to play second fiddle to Oyura. This is somebody that like is going to run the company in the future. Let's be honest, guys. If this was like a Mark Jang, Sky Castle kind of drama where like the Shables are fighting, this guy will be dead in like 2 seconds. Like, he'll be the first to go, because he's just not able to keep up. Because, oh my God, like, how is she running circles around you and you're letting her? Like, the only part that was like interesting, mildly interesting, was when he went to a hotel room or whatever and was like threatening her that I can do just about the same of the things that you can do. So like, don't test me. That was about the best moment he had. Other than that, he was like, just, I don't know, watching all this happen. I just don't understand how he is written this way. Honestly, I have to say that he almost doesn't even deserve Kang Ji-won at this point, because how is he like this bad? Like, Secretary Lee is better than him in this aspect. There's just something about him. And honestly, in a way, he even reminds me of Yang Juran, right? That is Kang Ji-won's colleague, because it's that same kind of attitude that they have. Or even, I would say, Kang Ji-won before the rebirth. Like, I don't know why everybody's just like passive and just letting things happen to them, right? It's very, very annoying, and I dislike that they've written him this way. But it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it at this point. We just have to keep going. I will also say another thing that annoys me about Yujiok, and I'm sorry guys, I did say that I've noticed all the negatives about this drama now that it's gone sideways. Another thing that I dislike about Yujiok is that I feel like he's never happy. Is that just me? Why do I feel like he's depressed? He appears depressed to me. Like, I don't feel like he's ever really, really happy, right? Even when he gets Kang Ji-won, even all, like when everything is falling in place for him, he never seems happy. He just has a gloomy, like, brooding. I guess it's supposed to be brooding. That's what he's supposed to be doing. But like, to me, it just seems like he's always sad. And I'm like, you have the girl, you have everything, you're rich, everything. Why is he always like, I feel like he hasn't smiled too much in this drama, right? Even when things are going well, which is like just odd to me, right? So that's another thing, that he just comes off as sad all the time. He seems like he has the weight of the world on his shoulder, and there's no reason to be like that, right? Because I mean, he's literally a chebo, has had everything go right in his life. There's no reason why he should be acting this way. But again, kind of like Yang Juran, he just seems down. They probably told him to be broody or something, and he fell off And so that's another thing that just really annoys me, or has annoyed me up to this point. But again, I guess I didn't notice as much because I was really focused on like the villains and the fight between like our good guys and the villains. So it just never occurred to me to like notice that. But maybe that's also why I can't get into their romance as much. But moving on, because I can't keep talking about the things that are pissing me off, I just want to talk about the character of Jung Sumin because I think she's still easily the most interesting character. The only character that isn't really a caricature villain, I would say, amongst all the other villains, because she's just very interesting. So in this last two episodes, we find out that the reason why she's so hateful towards Kang Ji-won is because it's Kang Ji-won's mom that her dad ran away with. I think what makes a character interesting to me, at least in these last two episodes, what I've seen was that, you know, even though she's an adult, she's grown up and everything, she's still so tied to her dad, right? She's still so tied to him to the point where it has affected her psyche. Because let's be honest, Jung Sumin is not ugly. She's a beautiful girl. She's astute, she's cutthroat, she's really, really amazing in a lot of ways. And she has her own strength. But she's obviously not able to see that because of Kang Ji-won, because she's always comparing herself to Kang Ji-won. And Kang Ji-won is not particularly more impressive than she is, right? But because she sees herself as a victim, somehow all this is Kang Ji-won's fault, right? I think the scene that was most interesting to me in the last episode was that scene in the hotel room where she's with Kang Ji-won's mom, and you know she's telling Kang Ji-won's mom that basically her dad isn't shit, like he's trash, he makes promises and never keeps them, that you know basically why is Kang Ji-won's mom with him, right? He's not special, you know. He says all these things and just never delivers, right? And so she's telling Kang Ji-won's mom all this because obviously this is something she knows intimately. Her dad basically left her for another woman, right? And she's basically asking Kang Ji-won's mom, like, why are you even with him in the first place? He's nothing, right? And so she knows this. She knows this, that her dad isn't anything. He's nothing special about him. He doesn't keep promises and stuff like that. Yet, when Park Min-won comes in to see her in that hotel room and she's bawling about the fact that her dad left with Kang Ji-won's mom and they ran away and just left her and everything, it tells you that even though she knows all these things about her dad, right? Even though she knows he's not special, he doesn't keep promises, he's a terrible father, she still somehow, in her mind, the back of her mind, in her heart somewhere, wants to believe that her dad loves her and cares for her, just like I guess Kang Ji-won's dad does for Kang Ji-won, right? And it's very sad because even though she knows all these things about her dad, she's still a little girl in like her heart, right? In that she's still looking for her dad's attention, which is very, very sad. I felt that was like very pitiful because she's able to tell Kang Ji-won's mom all these things, but also not able to apply it to ourselves. And you know, there are people like that. Like, we all have those things that we can give advice, but when it comes to like taking our own advice, it's very difficult. And I feel like Jung Sumin is like that as well, which is like a big shame. And so I think that is kind of where our hatred for Kang Ji-won comes in, because I do believe that there is that point, just a little point, where Jung Sumin first finds out about Kang Ji-won, finds out that it is Kang Ji-won's mom that ran away with her dad. You know, I felt like, oh, okay, maybe she has a kindred spirit, someone that she can kind of talk to and she will understand what she's going through, because, you know, her mom is, I mean, Jung Sumin's mom was very mean to her, right? And basically abusive and stuff like that over the fact that the dad left, and just like general, like the mom was not a good person, right? And so I think she thought she would have that kindred spirit with Kang Ji-won, right? And up to the point where they go to her house and she sees that Kang Ji-won's dad actually still loves her. Up to that point, I think that there was still some genuine feeling that could have been between them, right? But it's the moment where she sees that Kang Ji-won still has a warm family, like when she touches the blanket and she's like, oh, it's warm. And Kang Ji-won is like, oh, my dad probably turned it on, right? And she's like smiling and everything. It's that moment where she realizes that, oh, they're actually different, right? And I think that's where the hatred spawns from. That how is it possible that your mom left and your dad is still this nice to you? It's very twisted how she's kind of put Kang Ji-won in this position of being the one at fault, kind of, I guess, by extension of who her mom is, and through that she's basically able to justify why she does what she does to her, right? Because I guess to her, only her and her mom are unhappy. Kang Ji-won is happy, Kang Ji-won's dad seems happy, and Kang Ji-won's mom also seems happy, her dad also seems happy, so everybody seems to be happy except her, right? And so it's very sad that she's twisted like that and everything, but I really like the fact that they gave her that backstory to kind of inform why she acts the way she does. It's not normal, it's not okay and everything, but it makes sense, at least to me, given the fact that I feel like Jung Sumin has a mental illness. And is actually someone that could get better if she just had a better upbringing. But again, I mean, she just did not, and it's really sad. I will say that one thing I wish for this drama, and at this point I am basically just wishing, it's wishful thinking at this point, but I wish and hope that they will give her a redemption arc at the end. My sense from where we are now is that she might end up dying, because that seems to be the path that Park Min-won is taking it, and that seems to be what Kang Ji-won kind of wants to happen, right? That's the whole idea of passing the curse on to Jung Sumin. And there's a part of me that's sad, because I feel like Jung Sumin hasn't done anything to the point where she deserves to die in this new world. But again, it's like that is in Minority Report, where like people are arrested even before they commit a crime. I'm not sure if that's the name of the show, but basically people are arrested before they even commit the crime, because there's like a way of knowing that they're going to commit the crime. So it's something like that. And I mean, I guess that's okay, but I really wish that they'd give her some sort of redemption, because I feel like she deserves it, and I just want a character to kind of come full circle, right? She's just so interesting that I don't think that she should be relegated to being just that villain till the last moment. I want her to have that redemption, because I think it's just gonna be good and everything. But yeah, that's it for Jung Sumin. I feel like she's the only reason I'm watching this drama up to this point. Everything else is kind of falling sideways for me. Well, I will say that Secretary Lee and Yang Juran are also very interesting. I wish they would give them more scenes, but again, everything is being focused on Oyura. That's so annoying, right? Kang Ji-won's character is doing nonsense. Like, why is she feeling that she has to like reseduce Park Min-won? Like, it was just not making any sense. And so yeah, that's where we are at episode 13 and 14. I'll do obviously next week the last final 2 episodes because I don't have a choice at this point. But you guys should not expect me to say anything good about it either. But for sure, I'll at least review it and just be done with this drama, because I really want to move on. There's so many interesting dramas that have aired between this like past few months that My Husband has been airing that I want to cover, and it's a shame that I can't because of this drama and because I don't have the time. But yeah, I look forward to this drama ending. Honestly, I just want it to end. I am done with it. And honestly, I wish I could get my time back for this, honestly, but I can't. And yeah, that's really it for my review of My Husband episode 13 and 14. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, and I'll see you guys again next week. Have a nice one. Bye.